I'm about to show off all of the brand new update unit for the update 44. Thank you very much to Fire Knight's Tower Defense 2's moderation team. I am able to showcase these units to you pretty soon after release. And thank you, Eggsy in particular, who is the one who actually, I think, spawns them in our inventories. Just a note of all of these units right here. These are all Shiny Vengeance, as you can see. These all have D stat. You can get a lot of extra damage out of them because they're only D in stats. And they don't have any chips or bites equipped. So you can compare them with each other, but don't go too crazy looking at damage stats comparing them to the rest of the game, because obviously those will have chips and bites and good stats. So we're going to start off looking at Malachite Fox. We can see that we're starting off at a 550 regular DPS and about 1,000, 2,000 EDPS. He applies a stack of Crystallize on attack and applies 50% poison over 5 seconds. If there are 3+ nature units on the team, he follows up for 25% damage and 50% poison. When Crystallize reaches 5 stacks, he stuns the enemy for 2 seconds, applies 200% poison over 10 seconds, and while this poison is active, he slows for 20%. So he's actually a pretty good CC unit. Let's see him maxed up. 13, 10,000 while inflicting stun and CC. So this guy actually looks pretty good. We're going to look at Voltage Rockstar Freddy right here. You can see he's starting off pretty solid, around 2,000 DPS. He gains 5% damage per electricity unit on the team, and the nearest 3 electricity units also receive the buff. Attacks apply static, which causes enemies to deal 10% of this unit's damage every second to nearby enemies. Whenever this unit or its static hits an enemy, he gains 1 shock, and at 50 shock, he deals 250% damage for full AoE. Gets 50% extra damage on this, up to 500%. He stuns enemies for 1.5 seconds, and at 3+ enemies with stack, he gains 2 ricochets. So maxed up. Even without his electricity allies, he's already hitting like 20,000 DPS there momentarily. Alright, next up we have Phantom Endo 02, who's already starting at a fairly impressive 3,000 DPS on placement. Every time this unit performs a follow-up, you increase follow-up damage by an additional 5% up to 40, and when a follow-up attack hits a slowed enemy in range, he stuns the enemy for 1.2 seconds, and every time a follow-up attack stuns an enemy, deals 80% damage to that enemy. And every third attack, you'll follow up for 100% damage and apply 50% poison over 5 seconds. Okay, so maxed up, seeing 100,000 DPS. Assuming that's what his follow-up is all fully built up there, and the poison, okay. You can place 3 of this guy as well, so he might actually be pretty good. Alright, next up, we have got Phantom with a Chica right here. Okay, on Cone 90, she's starting at like 30k DPS. That's kind of insane. Okay, I just tested another unit to make sure it wasn't just unit health. No, that's just a lot of that. What the fuck? Okay. Enemies in this unit's range gain 1% dark with every second, that's 25. Whenever an enemy with HP more than 300% of this unit's damage in range, she deals 25% of this unit's damage every second to all enemies in range. And whenever an enemy enters this unit's range for the first time, she applies 20% slow for 8 seconds, and when it expires, she deals 150% damage to enemy. That kind of does explain why she's randomly doing like Omega damage. Let's see her maxed up. Full AoE. Oh lord, this unit's going to be very good, guys, I can't lie. She is one placement, so you're going to want to have hijacked on her for sure. So let's see ludicrous numbers that she can be hitting right here. Yeah, we're seeing her touch like 150,000 DPS right there. Right, next up we have White Lily Toy Foxy right here. Okay, we're starting off pretty impressive right here, around 13,000 DPS. Every 10 attacks she gains Bless Spear for 5 seconds, and this gives 50% damage and deals +2 shield damage. This is pretty good. Nature units in range become immune to stuns. Every attack generates a stack of favor of 10 for 10 seconds. For every stack of favor, give nature units range buff. Attacks by 50% poison, and nature units receive 20% damage. Okay, we can see maxed up. She's hitting pretty decent numbers. Yeah, 140k DPS.
Damn,
wow.
son.
Okay. Yeah, no, she's pretty good as well. She's also supporting, so yeah, that's pretty big. And finally, we have got the main animatronic for this update that was shown off, which is DJ Lolbit. He actually looks really quite interesting shiny. There's a lot of stuff going on there. So she's doing circle damage, and at base she's hitting already around 30,000 DPS. All right, pretty good. So she has 2 tracks, a red track and the green track. The red track gives units in range 20% damage, and enemies in range take 25% of this unit's damage every second. The green track gives 25% range and slows enemies by 20%. Her passive is very short, which is just knocks back enemies 1 tile, and each hit reverberates into the nearest 3 enemies within 5 tiles, dealing 20% damage. Let's see her maxed up all the way. I think we'll put her on, I think red track probably makes the most sense for this unit. I don't think green track is actually that good. So you can see maxed up, she's putting some pretty crazy work in right here. Around 200,000 DPS is where she seems to be peaking at. Now, obviously, you're not going to see these units pulling off these numbers. It's when you have a bunch of enemies in range. But this is like their max potential without bit. Yeah, I think she's very good. I think all these units are pretty solid. I don't think I looked at one of these and was unimpressed, actually, and considering how easy these guys are to get, a lot of them are just quest and you just buying them at the merchant. I think these guys are actually pretty good. Alright gamers, hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe for more.